Well, you probably never needed a 3D printer until now. You know what you can do now with a 3D printer? Besides the price going lower and lower all the time. But now you could make like, cakes with, Batman on it or whatever. Or you can take a picture of yourself and make it out of Nutella or even peanut butter or any kind of soft stuff now. So you can make cupcakes with a different design on every cupcake. You just set up the 3D printer and print all the different names on it, kinds of things. That's what's neat about it. So and it reminds me sort of like back in, I forget when PCs first came out, but I was around when that happened. And they were selling them like, to help your recipes in the kitchen. So, I mean, they imagine like, whoa, you'll take this big computer, and because the laptops weren't then, it was all these desktop kind of stuff, to put in your kitchen to keep track of your, recipes. That was stupid, but until you waited long enough, and then it became more usable, and there's more applications, and that's why, with this new technology out there, like 3D printers, what you have to do is start looking at it. Now, how can I adapt this to maybe what I'm doing? And that's what happens in the world now, is you take something and put two things together that nobody did before. I mean, look at our phones now. I mean, we've had that for 100 years, but nobody put the two things together. A phone and a camera, right? We carried both of those around and put them together, and wow! So now, 3D printers can even make shoes if you want. So there'll be an application there. People using them in, dentist offices, to make unique things. So one of a kind of unique things. And there's services on the web that you can get all the people that are not using 3D printers all the time to make stuff for you, and you send them the software, and it's getting easier and easier to use. Somebody else will do that for you for next to nothing and everything. So just thinking now, even for your kids or whatever, learning that stuff so you can actually find new applications that you could use it to. And that's what's so much fun about technology, and it's changing so quickly. Remember the first cell phones? I remember those things. They were like a brick, carrying around a brick with you, and they cost a fortune. And now they're nothing. Who the heck uses landlines anymore? So it's watching it. When is it going to be? And then start investigating how you can use this new tool for an application that you could find useful. Because that's where new markets happen. That's where new creativity happens, because nobody will use the old stuff. They'll run to the new stuff, And you have to be aware of how to use that new technology to take your old stuff and make it new stuff. And this guy's doing this with Nutella and peanut butter and all this kind of stuff. God, he went on the internet and was hoping to get like, it was $30,000, and he got $130,000 almost. $130,000. He was expecting $30,000, and now he's going out for venture capital, and people throwing money and new ideas because nobody knows what works. When you have something clever that you hooked up with something old and something new and something borrowed and something blue, and then people will throw you green. So watch out, he got all this green. What? Well, Charles Meyer. But more importantly, it's Struder3D.io. This is an unusual website. It's STRUCTUR 3, the number, D, and then .io. And I had to find out by Googling that stands for Indian Ocean, right? And that's why you got something very special website by just getting that extension on it. Well, that's very clever. But more importantly, what's even more clever is this extruder you have. And it's really for people with 3D printers that you're able to get any kind of stuff to go and print on your 3D printer, particularly stuff like Nutella, right? and silicon, and 3D printers aren't currently set up to do that, are they?
No, 3D printers out of the box, they all work with plastic. And so plastic is great. There are a lot of things you look around you that are made out of plastic. But there are also a lot of great things that are made out of softer materials as well. And that's what our product does. It helps an existing 3D printer print using soft materials. So people do not have to go buy yet another 3D printer. They use the 3D printer they already have at our device.
So this is a box you hook up to your current 3D printer, and it's only like a couple $100, right? Yeah. and you hook it up and you put in all the soft materials, right? Whether it's, can you use peanut butter or not?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you use peanut butter, silicone, all kinds of. So you're on your website. You're showing like people make inserts for their shoes, right?
Yes.
And you could use it with that, or even people, bakers use it decorating cakes, and you could make such, digital design. So you could be there instead of, writing "Happy Birthday, Mary," right?
Exactly.
You could do 100 of these things that look alike.
Part of the way we also framed it is, there might be some parents out there whose kid just totally loves Batman, right? And in today's world, there's people like something that's more personal.
Yes.
So, the parents could use our device with a 3D printer and print the Batman logo in cake icing, and then put it on the kid's birthday cake. So then it's fun, it's personal. It wasn't something that they had to go to the store and buy something again, So it's a lot of those types of stories we hear that, are just very endearing to us, and we think they're fantastic.
But just think, you go to somebody's house for a birthday, and you take them a cake with a picture, and the icing of them, right, on the top of the cake. You could do that?
Exactly. And during our Kickstarter campaign, one of the pledge levels was you could get your selfie photograph printed in Nutella.
Oh, really?
And we sold about 10 of those. So
if I get the machine too, if I'm used to using 3D printers, then I could make one of those myself, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Just get the Nutella and get a selfie, and then I could have. But what a lovely love present to give. Valentine's Day coming up. You imagine all the nice things you could have. A picture of your sweetheart on a cake, or whatever you want to do.
That's correct.
Or even in silicone, if you want, right? Instead of just plastic, And so it's material. But now, what was interesting too, first of all, it's a very reasonable price to have something like this. So, and it's for somebody who already has a 3D printer probably, but 3D printers are coming down in price. So if you really want to make something Nutella, you get a 3D printer and get one of your boxes, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And the nice thing too is that when you buy a 3D printer, there's always, you want to buy some plastic filament so you can start printing. Nobody ever wants to get a 3D printer and not be able to do anything with it on the first day. But our product is also now the accessory to buy when you buy a 3D printer, because by buying our product, you essentially get 2 printers in one.
So we had a little technical difficulties, but we were talking that this is really the first time you're really using crowdfunding to get this $126,000, right?
That's correct. This is the first time our company has used crowdfunding, and the nice thing about it was it allowed us to validate our market, and it gave us enough cash to be able to build our product and develop it for market without having to give up equity too early and fund it all with venture capital.
So why were you so wrong, though? You asked for $30,000 and you got $126,000. Is that what they teach you in your PhD programs?
Well, the way that we saw it was $30,000 would have meant 100 units of our product.
Okay.
And the way Kickstarter works, if you ask for a lot of money and you get just under that amount,
I see.
it's nothing. So it's all or nothing. So we had to take that calculated risk and make sure that we knew that we could sell 100 units of our product, but we were not sure about how many more beyond that. And so as it ended up, we've sold 400. So
wow. Well, you participated in our survey too, where we said, and you said you spent a total of like $1,000 to $5,000 for the whole thing, like getting your prototype finished and the marketing and everything.
So my co-founder and I, with the prototype itself cost us roughly about $5,000, and then another $5,000 went into a few early business expenses. The lawyers, the website, logo design, things like that. So basically, just under $10,000 was what we spent bootstrapping the company, and that allowed us to then get into an accelerator program where we got more funding to take it to the next level.
So when you started, after you got, like, let's say now you went to Kickstarter. Now, how much extra money did you spend, like, on doing Kickstarter, doing the video, and you know, marketing the thing and all that kind of stuff?
Certainly. So in Kickstarter world, generally it helps if you have a good video. It needs to be something that your customers can identify with, and so your customers want to know who's selling the product. So
Right.
they want to be able to connect with the company behind it. And but they also want to, you know, if you have a good product that is going to change your customer's life, you know, help them dream a little bit, show them what the possibilities are, and that's what we did with our video. So a good production video can run anywhere from about $3,000 to $10,000,
wow.
anywhere in those ranges, depending on how many scenes you do, how many days it takes to shoot the video, how much editing you do. And so we were right about in the middle of that, so we didn't have to, we wanted something that was high quality, but we didn't feel like we had to go to Hollywood quality.
Right.
And then we did spend a little bit of money on PR to just help connect with other media, so that way we could get broader attention to our product and our campaign. And that did seem to help a bit as well. So people who might only read one particular website, you know, we got our product featured in that website versus if it was on another site and they don't read it, that's not any good.
So how much of the sales you figure you got that was really just from your list versus Kickstarter and just the world coming in? You know what I mean?
Sure. So on Kickstarter alone, we sold 385 units of our product. But as I mentioned, our sales are just over 400. So the extra units have actually been from our customers who've seen our product.
I see.
We had a few customers who they wanted our product so early, they wanted it before Kickstarter.
I see.
And so we had our original prototype, which was very expensive to make. You know, cost more than $1,000 to make it. So we weren't going to sell that for $200 or $300.
Right.
And so we told these customers that, okay, if you want it really early, this is about the only thing we can do. And they
went
said,
for
fine,
it.
Yep, that's fine. We want it.
But once you started the campaign, about how many of the orders can you track, like, came from your list and your marketing versus just over the transom from Kickstarter?
Well, Kickstarter itself is also a marketing platform.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And so it's hard to discern exactly what was stuff that was grassroots marketing versus what was Kickstarter marketing, because, for example, some of the marketing we did on Kickstarter got us featured in TechCrunch.
I
got
see.
us featured in Mashable, and those are huge. When
they're
product featured there, and you know, we got the when John Biggs at TechCrunch and Michael Arrington, the co-founder, says something like, suddenly 3D printing now makes perfect sense. You know, you can't script that.
Exactly. No, you can't buy that either.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. And $126,000, you're looking for 30. And so now, are you in production? You're going to send these things out soon?
Yes, we're manufacturing right now, and so for a Kickstarter campaign, we're on a fairly good schedule. What our schedule was outlined on our Kickstarter campaign, we're only about 3 to 4 weeks delayed, which is not very bad.
No.
Many companies are delayed 12 months.
Actually, no, I'm still waiting for a Christmas gift from Kickstarter.
Exactly.
So to find out, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, before we started our Kickstarter campaign, we made, as a hardware company especially, it's very important, we made sure that we understood the overall requirements to manufacture our product.
I see, right.
And the only question then was scalability. So we didn't know, okay, we were going to target selling 100 units of our product. What if we sold 1 million units of product? We don't know, and that happens to some companies. So if your product takes off and it's that big, then of course you've got to go to another big manufacturer to make your product.
That's a nice problem to have, right?
Very nice problem to have, yes.
And to see this thing work live, though, I mean, you can go to your website, it's Structure3D, STRUCTUR, the number 3D.io, and see it there. It's a wonderful video. How much to see how you can make Nutella pictures, or anything. And it seems like for for the consumer, special business, so many applications. And thanks for using your brains to help the rest of us with this. Thank you, Charles. Take care.
Thank you very much.